Hello, Nick family. Welcome to my channel, Dope Soul Sports Talk, a member of the NBK network. Who are the four wing prospects that the Knicks should be targeting in the 2022 NBA draft with the 11th pick? Now, there are other wing prospects that may be available. This is a very deep wing prospect draft. However, they've been mocked at this point in the process to go higher than the 11th pick. There are also prospects that at this point are marked to go lower than the 11th pick and would be a reach for the Knicks. Hey, but the draft is 4 weeks away. We all know that things can change fast, and even these four players may not be available for the Knicks. They may rise up the draft boards and be out of the Knicks' reach, or they may fall and actually be a reach. But without further ado, these are my four wing prospects that I believe the Knicks should be targeting with the 11th pick in the 2022 NBA draft. Let's get to it. Number 4, Dyson Daniels, shooting guard slash point guard out of G League Ignite, 6'7", 200 pounds. In his lone season with G League Ignite, he averaged 11.3 points, 4.4 assists, 5.9 rebounds, shot 45% from the field, 25.5% from the three-point line, and 73.7% from the free throw line. I've looked at about 14, 15 mock drafts, and they have his draft range anywhere from 7 to 21, or here 8 to 21. His strengths, what I like about him is his size, 6'7". He's a pass first point guard. Now, most have him marked as a shooting guard, but I've seen a few that have him marked as both a point guard and a shooting guard. His coach believes that he's a point guard and played him at that position during his lone season with G League Ignite. Good ball handling, good playmaker and court vision, can play and defend 1 through 3, which bodes well for us if he comes to the Knicks, as we tout ourselves as being a defensive-minded team. Good rebounder, and you may say he should be. He's 6'7", but that's not always the case. But in this case, it is. He's a very good rebounder. Good feel for the game, passes ahead in transition, doesn't feel he has to pound the ball and he has to be the one to make the play. He's okay with the hockey assist. Can post smaller defenders as well. Improvement areas concerns is his three-point shooting. 25.5% from the three-point line must improve if he's going to approach his ceiling in the NBA. He doesn't get to the line enough. He shoots decent, 73.7%, but I believe he gets to the line maybe once, maybe twice a game, if that. Doesn't have shot creation, even though he handles the ball pretty well. He's not somebody that's going to create his own shot, and he's not very explosive. That being said, I still like him as a prospect for the New York Knicks, especially the fact that he can potentially play the point guard position. Even if he can't play it full time, he should be able to get you some good minutes at that position. And even from the small forward position or the shooting guard position, he should be able to play make and handle the ball. As we see, RJ Barrett handles the ball for the Knicks. Julius Randle handles the ball for the Knicks. You don't have to be a point guard to handle the ball. So he's my number 4 prospect for the New York Knicks at the wing position, but I like his versatility. I like the fact that he can potentially play the point guard position, which is a position of need for the New York Knicks. Number 3, AJ Griffin, shooting guard out of Duke, 6'7", 222 pounds. In his lone season with Duke, averaged 10.4 points, 3.9 rebounds, 1 assist, shot 49.3% from the field, 44.7% from 3, and 79.2% from the free throw line. Out of the mock drafts that I reviewed, the latest being May 17th, so not even a week ago, his draft range was 6 to 12. And I think that's because of the injury history. His junior year in high school, he missed games with a knee injury. I believe he missed his entire senior season in high school due to an ankle injury. He did not start for Duke despite being a 5-star recruit, and I think that was because they wanted to bring him along slowly. Eventually, he did start, I want to say, around January, and he got very well, and he did very well. Some of his strengths and what I like about him is that he's an efficient shooter. The sample size is not huge, but 49.3% from the field, 44.7% from three, 79.2% from the free throw line. If you've watched the Knicks, you know that's an area where we have issues with the free throw shooting and efficiency. Other than our bigs, our wing players shot like 39, 40, 41% from the field. So that's a big strength from him for him. He's a good spot up shooter. Like I said, a good 3-point shooter. Flashes of shot creation. A lot of his shots was off the catch, but he showed flashes that he'll be able to create his own shot. He's long, he's physical, he finishes through contact, has a good feel for the game, which is very important. High IQ players that understand the game of basketball. You always want those type of players on your team. Good defensive tools as well. I don't think he's quite there as a defender, but he has the tools. I think if he gets drafted to the Knicks, he'll be held accountable defensively, and I think he'll be a much better defensive player. In terms of improvement areas, concerns, low shot release, and a very wide base as well. Shot creation, he has to get better with that. He does have defensive lapses off the ball, slow guarding in space. Quickness, speed, explosiveness is a concern. Now, some believe that, he's been injured the past few years. He's slowly rounding into shape and that he'll be able to regain some of his explosiveness. There are others that believe that it's gone forever and that basically what we see now in terms of his quickness and his speed is pretty much what it's going to be. I don't have a lot of concern about that because there have been players in the NBA have not been very quick, not been very fast, but have been very effective. So I'm okay with that. The injury history is a concern. Is this a player that's going to continually be injured? There's no way. There's no way to know. But it doesn't seem like it's impacting his draft range that much. And by the time the draft starts in 4 weeks, he very well may be out of the Knicks draft range. We shall see. But I like AJ Griffin a lot. I think it's just his injury history that's giving me pause. But I would be very happy if the Knicks had the opportunity to and actually drafted AJ Griffin. Number 2, Johnnie Davis, shooting guard out of Wisconsin, 6'5", 222 pounds. In his past season with Wisconsin, he averaged 19.7 points, 8.2 rebounds, 2.1 assists, shot 42.7% from the field, 30.6% from three, 79.1% from the free throw line, draft range 6 to 14. I like Johnnie Davis as well. What I like about him, he's a very good mid-range shooter. He plays downhill. He loves to go to the rim and can finish. He's a two-way player, potential 3-level scorer. Obviously he would need to improve his 3-point shooting in order to be that. Very good defender that works to get back into the play when screened off. He has a soft touch. He has a floater. He posts up smaller guards. He's tough. He has a football background like Deuce, AI, and others. And as you know, those with those football backgrounds tend to be tough players in the NBA. In terms of improvement areas of concern, again, 30% from three. If he wants to approach his ceiling in the NBA, he's going to have to be better. Ball handling. He's an above average athlete. He can create his own shot. He'll be going against players in the NBA who are faster, stronger. So I think improving his ball handling will help him get space and continue to create his shot. He's an okay playmaker. That wasn't his role at Wisconsin. He had a high usage rate. They leaned on him to score. So it remains to be seen if he'll be able to make plays in the NBA. Again, okay athleticism. He loves to go to the basket, but he's a below the rim finisher. Again, there are many below the rim finishers. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be a good player in the NBA. I really love Johnny Davis. I have him second. I probably would have put him third, but obviously AJ Griffin's injury history gave me pause. So Johnny Davis to me is more of a sure thing. He's a dog. He has New York Knicks written all over him. In my opinion, I would be extremely happy if the Knicks selected him at number 11 in the 2022 NBA draft. And the number one player that I like for the Knicks at the 11th pick in the 2022 NBA draft is BENEDICT MATHURIN. Shooting guard, small forward out of Arizona, 6'7", 195 pounds, averaged 17.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, shot 45% from the field, 36.9% from three, 76.4% from the free throw line, draft range 6 through 11. Now, the mock drafts that I looked at, the earliest was May 17th, the latest was May 21st. Each day, he seemed to be rising more and more up the draft boards. By the time the Knicks draft, 4 weeks from now, he may be out of their range, but I really like him. He has a high ceiling. There's a lot of NBA analysts, NBA draft analysts who believes he has one of the highest ceilings in the draft, along with Jaden Ivey and the other top picks in the draft. Very good spot up shooter, slasher with good burst and first step. Very good cutter. So on offense, when he's not involved in the play, he's still engaged in terms of his cutting. Willing defender with good defensive tools, a clutch player who's not going to shy away from the big moment. And he's athletic. And you see, I put athletic last because like I talked about, if you don't have the skill and you don't have the heart and you don't have the toughness, what does it mean to be athletic? But he's somebody that can shoot, he can slash, he's tough. And so on top of that, being athletic does give him an edge. In terms of improvement areas of concern, creating his own shot off the dribble is going to be a must if he's to reach his potential, his ceiling in the NBA. On and off the ball defense, he has defensive lapses. A lot of times he doesn't move his feet laterally when he's playing in space. Again, if he's going to be a two-way player, a 3-and-D player, he's going to need to be a good defender. Settles for jumpers a lot. Again, I think the coaching staff will work with him. I think his role will be different in his first year in the league. I don't think he'll be counted on to carry a team. So I think he'll be able to pick his spots as far as when to shoot. And playmaking has to improve. And I think that's with a lot of guys who are counted on to score in college. Sometimes they are good playmakers and they just didn't have much of an opportunity. Or, they could make the pass, they could make the play, but they understood that their role was to score. I'm a big fan of BENEDICT MATHURIN. I don't think he's going to be available for the Knicks at number 11, the way things are going. But right now, he's right within their range. Anything can happen. We're 4 weeks out for the draft. Players can rise, players can fall. We will see. But if BENEDICT MATHURIN is there at number 11 in the draft, he's my pick. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 4 wing prospects I believe the New York Knicks should be targeting in the 2022 NBA draft. If you're watching this video on May 23rd, 2022, be sure to catch me on the Queen's Court tonight at 8 p.m. on the Nothing But Knicks channel, where I'll be talking about these same draft prospects and others with panel members. So if you're interested in other panelists' takes, be sure to tune in. The link is in the description. If you're watching this video after May 23rd, 2022, I'll double back and put the link to the show in the description.